Hey everybody, this is Darwin Reina and the Festival Director of Hospitalario International Film Festival. Today we have two great filmmakers. One is actor, the other one is the director of this great film. Let's see if I can pronounce it good. Quello, resta. I hope. I try my best. How are you guys? How are you, Giuseppe?
Very good, thank you.
And then we have Fabrizio, which is nominated for Best Actor. So I'm gonna start with Giuseppe first of all. Giuseppe, tell me, the story, something personal, is fiction. Where do you get this story and why do you write it?
I didn't write it myself, to be fair. There's a screenwriter who wrote this for us, which name is Ersilia Cacace. She's a screenwriter in Bari, here in Puglia.
Right.
And she just came out with this letter. Is a text of a letter that this guy writes to her girlfriend in order to tell her he's not able to be with her anymore. So they have this kind of conflict in between, and you don't get to the point until you reach the final part of the letter, where you realize what is actually the problem of their story and why they cannot be together. Yeah. So when we first read the text, I was blown away by the power of the turning point at the end of the letter, because at the beginning you kind of hear these men talking about how beautiful their story has been, how powerful their love is, but you can't really understand what's going on until he says what actually is been going on, which is the strong point, in my opinion, of the story. And when we read that, I was quite sure we had to do a short movie about it. So that's how it all came to light.
Nice. Do you suggest to her any change in the script or not really? Or you were happy with what you just read? Or you suggest anything, let's change this maybe, or not really?
Not to be honest, it was perfect like that, because the language the man talks is the language of a man of church. And I didn't know that. You just realize at the end that this is a priest. So in Catholic religion, you get to understand that it is quite a forbidden thing to do, to be with a woman. Actually, it's totally not possible. And we were trying to bring out the thing that is not that bad. Probably this is the moment to start thinking about how we can manage a different kind of religion as well, to let people love themselves in a free way, as well as priests, as everyone else, So we didn't change the script because it was perfectly written, in my opinion. We just had to make up all the images and the visual storytelling that it's in the short movie that was not in the script. This is like a first, it was a first draft, and it was okay like that. And we just decided, okay, let's build a visual storytelling thing that we can all rely to, and then shoot the short movie. That's how it went.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's really beautiful. Giuseppe, I really like your film. I have to be honest to you. Listen,
thank you.
Giuseppe, tell me, walk us a little bit about the pre-production. Did you do storyboards? How long was it? How was the shot list? A little bit, just tell us a little bit so people have an idea what is a pre-production.
Sure. When we received the letter from Ersilia, we started to, with my friend and assistant director Angelo, we decided to start doing a storyboard straight away. So we just started by imagining how this letter could be translated into images. And we decided to give a bit of what was before the decision to split the couple, that the priest does in the letter. So we kind of storyboarded all the previous love story that was not written in the script. And that's how it all went through. We started with this, and then we mixed it with images of the moment when they had fights. They were, they were loving each other. There's also an intimate sex scene, and that's the way it started. We all tried to make a big storyboard, so we still have it, and it's all storyboarded. Yes, that's the hardest part, translate into images. And then we started looking for locations, as well as extras people, you know, that's in the church. We found the church, which was quite hard because there was not even a church available for this story because no priests would allow us to shoot in an actual church. So we had to find a dismissed one, which was not, there's no celebrations in this church anymore. So it's not like a holy church anymore. And it's used actually for cultural events, concerts and stuff like that. So we were quite lucky to find this church and to get the chance to shoot in it. So we had to bring all the furniture inside, all the candles, everything you see in the church that was not there. So we had to reproduce an actual church. It was quite challenging and hard, but for us it was maybe the funniest part. And that's how it all went, you know, in the pre-production part.
Wow, nice. Let's go to production, and then we're gonna let Fabrizio to join us in a while. How long was the shooting days in the production, and what was the most difficult part besides the church that you mentioned? Anything else difficult that it was like, oh my guys? Can you tell us?
Yeah, sure. I can't actually remember the days we needed to shoot because we don't have any production. So it was just us. The whole short movie cost us maybe 300 euros or stuff like that, which is quite cheap to be, if you consider, you know, the major productions. But it was a challenge, and we decided to go for it. And we didn't have an actual tight schedule to shoot because we didn't have any hiring people. We didn't hire anyone. It was all made in a free way, like a free help. So everyone that was on set was there for free just because they were passionate about it. They loved the idea and they just wanted to give us a hand. And that's basically how it all went. So we maybe took 6 or 7 days of production spread in a whole month, probably. Fabrizio maybe will remember better than me. Because...
I remember 3 months.
Seriously?
More or less in 3 months.
Wow.
6 or 7 days in 3 months.
It spread in 3 months because Fabrizio, he works a lot and he travels a lot. So it was not always here with us. And the actress, which is actually his wife, they have also 3 kids. So they had to manage work, kids, as well as our personal, commitments. And finding the 3 days to shoot, it was very hard because we didn't have any money and we weren't paid for that. So it was also a big challenge, but eventually we made it in the end. Yes.
Nice, Giuseppe. Let's tell me, how do you? Okay, now I just got this news that Giuseppe, his wife was the actress, which is Alessandra, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so how do you? Oh man, this is interesting because I never had this opportunity I'm a director, not as good as you, Giuseppe, but I'm on my way. All right. How do you direct a couple, a real couple into a couple? I mean, that's something I want to know.
We were shooting a commercial with friends of us. They own an actual proper company for commercials, and Fabrizio is in the production of this other company. And they called me for help with audio. You know, I had to help microphones and stuff because they were shortage on staff that day. And so I went with them. I never met Fabrizio before, probably a couple of times, but never had the chance to spend some time with him. And when I was seeing him at work, I was looking at him, and I already had the script in my hands, and I was thinking, oh God, this is the priest. It has to be him. You know, I looked at him, probably in a creepy way sometimes, but I was staring at him, at his beard and his facial expressions, and I decided he has to be the priest. So we managed a meeting in another day, and Alessandra came with him with the kids. I didn't know her as well. And I wanted to share with Fabrizio the story. He liked it as well. And we were starting to think, oh, look, guys, I have to make also some particular intimate scenes in this movie. And the idea just came out like that. Alessandra, why don't you play the role of the leading actress? She was quite shy at the beginning, but eventually it came out like a very good idea. And directing them together was a very, it was fun, to be fair. It was very fun. Fabrizio is a wonderful, not just actor, but also a very fun person. So he keeps the morals very high in the shooting days. And also Alessandra. And they have like a very deep bond that comes, you can see it when you are together with them. And I think it also comes out in the shootings. And it was very easy.
Yes, when Giuseppe asked me to do this movie, I read the letter, and I said him immediately, we have to do it because it's very, very, very unbelievable, this story. And with Alessandra, it's very easy because she is my wife. For this, some pictures, some images, it's very, very strong to do with another woman.
Yeah, I mean, you both guys got selected, and I was asking the jurors, what is this? And they said, wow, they are so good at performing, both of us. But now I got it. But anyways, it was good. You guys did it very good. So how is to work with your wife, Fabrizio? It was easy, or it was something difficult? Because, you know, one thing is the reality, the other thing is the camera. What do you think?
I think that Giuseppe is very, very great because he solves each kind of a problem. He's very, very friendly. And for example, when we made the take, the sensual take, okay, he creates each condition to do this activity without problem. He studied the storyboard, he studies the light, he studied everything. He is great.
Oh, guys, this is fun. Giuseppe, tell me, what is the thing that you like most from an actor? I mean, besides the appearance, we know that, and besides they know their lines and they prepare the character, what is the other trait that you really like from an actor or actress?
We did 2 short movies together. In my very, very little experience, what I like most is that cinema, which is not what we do, but we try to aim to and to lead to maybe in the future, is the partnership of different talents. You can see great movies, great short movies. They are like a music concert. You know, everyone plays his instrument and brings it together for a complete experience. The same happens in cinema. The director brings his vision, the cinematographer brings his visions, the actors bring their talents. So what I like in the actors is the extra, the thing they can add to the lines that brings the lines to life, which is not just saying it with the right intonation, with the right feelings, but is to interpret it. So if an actor can interpret the lines, he can bring the lines to a new life, and they can add an extra layer of complexity to the story. So that's what I like in characters, to bring extra personality to the story.
I'm agree with you. Definitely, that's a good point. Giuseppe, there was who did the cinematography of your film, because it's also really well done. Actually, it was you.
Thank you. He couldn't be here today. I told him to come over, but he speaks very little English and he was busy at work today. He's a photographer. His name is Gianluca Parasciano. We are also cousins. So when you do low budget things, you have to find talents in your area, or at least at your reach. Right. And he's a very talented photographer. Yeah. But also in the last years, he's been practicing in videos as well. He's doing commercials, he's doing music videos, video clips. So I believe he reached a certain point of professionality into video lighting, which is completely different from photography lighting. And that's why I decided, okay, you have to be in our team. He was very excited about the story. He was very excited about the environments we decided to shoot in, because for a cinematographer, probably the most important thing is the locations combined with lightings. And when you have a very low budget to shoot a short story, a short movie, the location is vital, because you don't have to do a very, very big job, especially interiors. I believe it's it's a bit easier to light than big exterior scenes, you know. And also interiors were the perfect combination of locations for this story, you know, to bring it to a very intimate, very personal story. And I think Gianluca did a great job lighting indoors, nights, which is not easy for this story. Yes, I really appreciate the job he did.
Giuseppe, one quick question about production. Which camera you use? I like it.
We used a GH5 from Panasonic.
That was, yeah, I almost had the, I was that one. That camera is really great, man. I love it.
It is great. It is great. You need to, well, we managed in the years to get some very useful equipments. Yeah. So we were lucky enough to have a crane, which is, you know, in the church, when he is left alone, the camera goes on top of him and leaves him like on the ground. And it's very light camera, so it's very easy to move as well.
Let's go to post-production, and then we talk a little bit more with Fabrizio. Who edited the film? How do you deal with editing? If you do it, or if you have somebody else to do it for you, how do you work in the editing?
To be fair, I started taking videos of my travels. I've been quite lucky to do a few travels around the world, and I also brought my camera with me. It's always been a passion, you know, it's always been there. I don't know why. In the luggage, you know, you bring your underwear, your socks, your t-shirts, and the camera. That's my luggage. So in all the journeys I've been lucky enough to do, I had my camera with me. And at the end of the journey, I always edited a small video of the holiday. And that's how I got to get, you know, experience with editing and the different softwares. So these two short movies we did, I edited them myself. Totally, yes. The editing as well as the audio editing, they've been done by me. The color correction has been done by Angelo, which is also the assistant director for this short movie and the other, which is a very talented friend of mine who loves cinema, and is also is shooting a real movie actually as in production. He's into the production department down in Salento these days. So say hi to Angelo. And yes, that's basically it. I edited it, the sound design as well. But the color correction is Angelo's. And also we've been very lucky with the music this time, because a friend of us who is a musician, a very shy one, to be honest, is called Dario Piccoli. And he's a very talented musician, and we offered him the chance to do this job. He accepted it straight away, and I think he did an absolutely fantastic job with the music as well.
Yeah. So was it difficult for you to edit this film, or not really, or everything was matching, or you had to solve problems in the editing process? What do you think?
The storyboard was so well studied that editing was very easy. Wow. So before going to shoot, I already knew how the film had to be edited in the end. So we respected the storyboard. We changed it slightly sometimes according to, you know, problems of weather, rather than, the location. We couldn't frame that particular thing because it was not good looking. So we had to reschedule, you know, the frames. But editing was very easy. We knew everything we needed to since pre-production. So it was quite easy. Also, you know, there's a part where the scenes change from one scene to another, like a very long dolly. And it goes from one scene to the other. That has to be started in pre-production, otherwise it won't work. So we've been quite lucky to have the right time to study, the pre-production time, the storyboard, and then when we went shooting and then editing, everything was perfectly matching.
Oh, man, nice. So you were prepared, well prepared, Giuseppe.
We were, yes, yeah. We all were.
How the music works, Giuseppe, how do you decide the music? Do you have in mind before in pre-production as well, or is something that comes when you edit the film?
That's something I learned in this particular experience, because normally in my past experience, I never planned properly where the music has to be in the final editing. And that's a big mistake I learned. In this movie is a mixture of knowing where and still not being totally aware about where the music is going to be in the final editing. I always thought it's a musician issue, you know, they have to fix it, they have to find the right time for the music. But actually, I realized and I learned from this short movie that you have to pre-plan also where the music is going to be. Obviously, music is emotion. So you need to know when you want the audience to be drawn into a particular emotion, into a particular feeling. And that's not just the images and the sound, but the music as well plays a big role in this kind of, you know, leading the audience towards where you want it to be.
How do you decide the final cut, the final master that you say, this is what is going out for the festivals, for the world? Do you get feedback from people you show it, or is more your own intuition? How is that deciding moment for you of the final?
We made maybe, well, I edited 20 versions of the of the short movie. The first one was very quick, you know, very let's see if it works all together, you know, the cuts. Let's see if they match. Let's see if the story, you know, keeps the pace. And obviously the first version, you know, can't be good. But then in the following ones, I always try to add something, sometimes even to take off. We deleted one scene that didn't work. And it was there until the last version. And then we decided to take it off and leave it without, and it worked better. So sometimes you need to give up to some things you did and you think they were working, and when you go to the editing room, they actually don't work. So it's a hard choice. You have to deal with what's best for the film.
Yeah. Wow, man, I have a couple of questions, Matt, for you. Giuseppe, what do you think is the hardest part in filmmaking? I mean, all the phases that we have, pre-production, post, they are all difficult, but which one is the difficult one for you as a filmmaker?
During the last pandemic period, last March, I wrote a short script myself, the first one. And I'm finding very hard to find, you know, some productions to give money to the idea. I think this is the hardest part, to gather the resources to be able to shoot what you want to shoot.
I can say that this first time that I see the movie, I had the same impression that I had when I read the letter. Oh. So it means that people, it was very, very great to explain us every part of the movie.
Mm-hmm. What do you learn in Quello, resta that you will do different in your next project? Some education that you get there to do better in the next one. What do you think?
I would find a way to get some more people involved. Because it was just 4 of us. Nicole, which is costumes and edition, and Angelo, Gianluca, and I, the 4 of us. We were doing all by ourselves. So we came to the shooting completely super tired, because you have to, you know, to set the location, you have to do the lights, you have to do the haze, all those kind of things. So you get to shoot already tired, which is something I regret, to be fair. Especially in the library scene, I know that is not working 100% good. It could have been done better. But when we came there, it was it was late. We had to do the lights and everything. So when we got to the point to shoot, we were already very, very tired. And I think it's a shame for a work like this to not give the 100%. So probably in the following works, I'd like to have some more help to focus more on the directing properly of the things. So on the frames and on the actors, which sometimes when you do everything by yourself with other people, just a few people, you don't have the time to do. Probably that's my biggest regrets.
Guys, congratulations on your nominations, all right? You guys coming to Barcelona?
Hopefully, yes. Hopefully, yes. We see the COVID.
Yes.
We will be honored.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for joining us. We're happy to have you, Giuseppe. And
thank you very much. Thank you very much. Our pleasure.
You guys take care, okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Good luck for the...
Yes.